This is a demo of the remote collection feature of Logviewer. Logviewer can be used to collect data from other computers over the network, and this data is appended to whatever log file is currently open. In addition, this can be useful if, for example, the user wants to use another computer or another device as a tool to collect data and they need somewhere to send the data and save it. It can also be useful if they want to use this program to monitor another program that's sending data to it. So to do collection, we need to have the structure specified. Once the structure is specified, technically there is an open log file that's created that has 0 events that's already opened, so that if you want to start collection with it right away, you can do it without opening a log file. But for this example, we're going to open a log file so you can better see the collection. And I'm going to run the process script that will display the code, which is what we really care about in this example. So I'm going to run a sample client. The Logviewer is the server program, and there are client programs that can connect to it and send data to it. This particular sample is included in the log sender program or log sender project, which can be downloaded from the same website. So in the client, I need to specify the IP address of the server. If the client and server are running on 2 different computers, the server computer, you need to do ipconfig on that computer so that you can type in the IP address into the client. And then I'm going to specify a port. The port can be any regular port, but for Linux usually reserves ports 1 through 1000 for the super user or the root access. So if you're running Linux, just run over with something greater than 1000, otherwise it won't work. So you need to start the collection first on the server so that the client can connect to it. You can't start the client first and then start the server, otherwise the client won't connect to the server. So I hit start to start collection, and the collection is running right now. So if I type in the port and hit enter, I am now connected. You know you're connected when your IP address of the client appears under the connections drop-down box. You can have several clients connected, so there could be several computers sending data to the same Logviewer. You can also have several of the same program running on the same computer sending data. So I could have perhaps 5 of these things sending data over, and you'd see 5 of my 127.0.0.1 loopback IP address appear here. The IP address refers to my own computer, but it could also be IP address of another computer if this client was running on another computer. So this particular client works by me typing the entire event. So remember how I specified the structure here? Well, I can type XML into here. And that XML will appear. That event is sent over to this program. It's appended to the log just as any other event is, and it appears here. In fact, if I save the log I'm currently working with, collected event.xml, and I open it, you can see that I did collect an event with code. This is cool. Note, however, any log files generated by Logviewer are not formatted. So this part came from the file I opened, and it looks nicely indented and everything's on the correct line. But the part generated by Logviewer is not. This won't affect the function of the program because this is still the same as this is. But if you want to make it look neater, you can run a XML tidy program. There is one available on the website that I wrote, a very quick one, in case you want to use it. But the functionality is still the same regardless of if everything's on the same line or indented nicely. So we can send more events. You can see that they appear down here. I can type different things in the client. The server will appear in the server. And then another cool feature is that the real-time graphing. So the process script we're running will currently graph the number of if statements in the code, which means if I type that, you can see here right there that I have a code with 4 if statements, and then I could do more. So it's real-time graphing, which is another reason why you may want to use this program if you want to graph real-time data like that. And then if I quit in the client, it sends a signal over to the Logviewer that I quit, and then Logviewer takes the connection out. Now, there are also IP filters, because right now Logviewer is listening to all computers that are sending stuff to it over port 1000. Perhaps you don't want to receive it from all computers. You can do that by doing an IP filter. You can add either an exclude filter, which filters against the IP address of that filter, or you can add an include filter, which filters for and only accepts connections with that IP address. And you can add multiple filters. So in this example, we're going to add 127.0.0.1 as an exclude filter. Once you add the filter, they're listed in the drop box. If it's excluded, it has a minus in front of it. If it's included, it has a plus. If we run this again, the client, and try to connect to the same IP address, and we can try sending something over. You can see here that the stuff we tried to send over, hi, never appeared here because we're filtering against clients from 127.0.0.1. In fact, adding an exclude filter is an easy way to kill connection from the server side if you don't want to kill it from the client side. So assume I had a connection running here and I didn't want it to connect anymore. I could just add a filter and immediately it would check through all the connections and see and kill any that doesn't pass the filter. Now if I can select by clicking in the drop down box and then remove the filter, and now if I want to, I'll be able to connect again. So you see the connections down here.